Hi, my name is Priscila Xiomara Rubalcaba. I'm 17 and I started Xiomara's Bakery. So I basically wanted to talk about everything about how I started, how I began doing all of this, and how it was even possible to be on the local news and do all of that. So first, I just want to tell my story and my journey of starting the business. And basically, I was in quarantine for like 3 weeks. After quarantine, I was getting a little sad and just like everybody like didn't know what to do. I went from like doing all these things at school to not doing anything at all, and it was super frustrating for me, and like I had a lot of downtime that I've never had before. So I just started baking and baking and baking, and my mom was like, stop, like we cannot have so much baking stuff at home. We can't have so many treats. I was baking more than my family could handle. So I was trying to figure out a way how to enjoy my hobby and get active around the house instead of get active around the house and not be like making too much for my family, and my mom wasn't letting me bake anymore. So I decided that I wanted to start a business because people were complimenting me. Like, I gave family for Easter. I went over to family's houses and dropped off some cookies, and they were complimenting me and saying how good it was. And I was like, well, I can do this for a business. Like, I've seen people do home bakeries. So I kind of just, one night I sat down, I wrote out what I can bake, what I know how to bake, what I want to learn how to bake, and a price list. Basically, I kind of looked up how to price your items on YouTube and I just priced them accordingly. And I also made a logo myself. I hand drew a logo and I was like, this is my logo. These are some name options that I want to have, and this is my slogan. And I just kind of like, it all came out like I just had a rush of inspiration and I kind of just did it, and I wrote it all out, and I came up with the name Xiomara's Bakery because I really love my middle name Xiomara, and it's not really common and used much out in like the real world. People just know me like as Priscilla Rubalcaba, and like I wanted people to know like I have a middle name, it's Xiomara, and I love it, and so I wanted to use it more. So Xiomara's Bakery is where the name came from. The slogan, prep, mix, and bake from the heart, is just something that came up in my, like, I just made it up and I thought it was really cool, so I did that. And I drew the logo, and then I went onto an editing app and I made it possible. And I kind of just presented it to my parents, and they were like, good for you, I guess, but it's not gonna work. Like, I'm like, there wasn't a lot of confidence in like, oh, you're starting a business, like, oh, she's a little girl, she's starting a business, she's a child, whatever. But soon after, like, I would just, like, the day after, I was like, hey, I kind of posted it on like my social media, like, friends, I'm making, like, to just my friends and like my family, like, I'm starting a business, like, I want to bake, would you want to buy something, here's the price list, here's this. And I kind of just started off selling it to family and selling it to friends, and it started off like that. And it was like one day, and I got in, like, some friends were like, yeah, sure, like, do you make this, do you make that? And I didn't know how to make some of these things, so I was like, sure, I can do that. So I just kind of went and saw my recipes, and I found some, and I made them, and they turned out pretty good. Like, people really were enjoying them, people were complimenting me, like my friends and family. And I soon posted on our neighborhood, like our town's page on Facebook, and it just kind of blew up from there. And it was, people were like, oh, this is really cool that you're doing this. Like, I posted my age, like, you know, my age, like, I'm 17. I just really enjoy baking. Baking is a big hobby of mine, which it really is, and I really enjoy it. And I just kind of did that, and it kind of blew up, and I kept getting orders and orders and orders, and I was able to buy some new things for me to use. Like, I would go from kind of like hand mixers and like electronic hand mixers and actually hand mixing, and now I have like a professional mixer, like a KitchenAid mixer, which is really cool for me. Like that was a really huge accomplishment for me because I never would have thought that this would have happened. But through the help of my community and everything, it kind of just blew up. I made a Facebook page. I recently launched an Instagram page, and I've been getting a lot of followers daily. Like right now I think I'm up to 500 followers, and I just started like 2-3 weeks ago, and I'm just so grateful. We had a Mother's Day sale, and it was so amazing, and honestly, like, I can't even believe this happened. A couple days ago I was on Good Day Sacramento, which is like one of our local news, and it was kind of crazy experience. I never thought it would have happened, and I can't even believe that I'm sitting here or standing here in my kitchen talking to you about this. And this is kind of where it all happens. Like, it's not that big of a kitchen, but it works for me right now, and hopefully I can soon move into a bigger space. Or my goal is to kind of get a little shop set up in like a couple years, establish a shop in like a year or two on Main Street of our town. So I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to show you guys all the things I bake and walk you through some of my experiences in making this business. And if there's any questions, just leave them down below and I can answer them in the next video or in a couple videos, depending. Thanks.